So June 10th on Reddit 2015 of this year, 2015, just in case this doesn't happen for a while, Reddit exploded with a bunch of Nazi imagery and whatnot about some fat people and free speech or something or other. And I had no idea what was happening because I only subscribed to a bunch of smaller subreddits. And I started thinking that what would happen if Reddit went down because of a bunch of either assholes in charge of it or on it or whatever, and I lost my small communities that I participate in. And I realized that it would be not as hard as you would think to make my own site, much like Reddit, for a smaller community. It's not going to be as terrible as this, but it'll be an okay website that I'll show you how to make or something. There you go.
So you're ready to move your community away from Reddit to a site where you completely own everything and control everything and write your own policies. It's easier than you might think to do. I'm going to show you how to set up Plig, which is a content management system kind of designed to mimic the old Dig. I chose this because it's customizable and it's very easy to set up. You just need a few things to get started. You need some sort of web server. This could be hosting that you purchase, or maybe some free hosting that you find, or you can host it yourself on your own machine. If you're going to do that, you need to be aware of network issues and getting a static IP. So it's probably easier just to purchase a cheap hosting platform. Once you have your hosting platform, you'll need to set up PHP, Apache, which I'm sure is already installed, and MySQL. So the first step to get started is to set up your database. So you're going to go into your PHP MyAdmin. It might look a little bit different depending what version you have. I believe this is the newest version or close to it, so it'll probably be something like this. First you need to create your database. So you go to our databases, and we're just going to call this one Plig demo. That'll work. Hit create. Alright, so now you can see we have a database created, and next we need to create a user. Alright, actually I believe we can just use a root user. So we're just going to use the root account. If you're actually putting the site out on the internet, which chances are that's what your end goal is, you'll want to create a separate user with a strong password, or change the password for the root account. Alright, so now the database is created, we need to go and copy our Plig files over to our web host. Normally you'll do this over FTP. Since I'm just running this locally on my laptop, I was able just to copy the files to the directory. So actually I should say, before you copy the files over, there's a list of file extensions you need to change. Those will be in the notes for the show. Basically you're just changing anything with the extension of .default, just getting rid of that extension. So I have my files copied over already, so I'm going to navigate to my domain or IP, or however you have it set up, to my Plig installation, which of course is saying it can't connect to the database because I haven't configured it yet. So once you get this error, just hit Plig installer, select your language. If you're listening to this, it's probably English, and that brings you to the installer. So you shouldn't need to change any of these permissions, but it's also telling you which files you need to rename at minimum to get it working. I wouldn't worry about the permissions. If you did everything right in the first place, you shouldn't need to do any of that stuff. So hit next step. Now database name, so we just did Plig demo. Username, we're doing root. So the default is going to be a blank password, but if you used a different account or a different password, go ahead and type that in here. You can leave the rest the same. Hit check settings. Alright, so discovered our database that we created. We hit next step. Alright, so now you can see everything is set up here, all the tables that are needed to run the site. Now we're just creating an admin, so we'll just call that Techspresso. And our password will just be password, because again, this isn't on the internet. If it is, please make a strong password or you're going to have some sort of problem. Your site will not last very long. So Now we create our admin account. Oh, of course. All right. It wants me to fill in every bit here. All right. So let's call our admin again. Techspresso. Password. Chris at take27.tv, and we'll call that Techspresso. Now that should work. Installation is complete. Now, once you complete your installation, you need to follow this step here, and you want to delete the install directory. It's a security risk having it there, and your site actually will not load by default with it in your root. So let's visit our site. So I'll just go localhost plague CMS master, and here you're ready to go. Your site is created. At this point, once you're logged in as admin, you can change your color schemes, your templates, the behaviors of the site, any of the text that's on the pages you can change, and this is your first step to creating your own news posting site with your own rules that you own yourself. So, thanks for watching. Bye.
I think that was the good one.
Yeah, whatever. That was